Hey, welcome to your place. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome to episode number 3, Feeling Misunderstood. Today, we're going to unpack what it actually looks like in real life to feel misunderstood, why we stay stuck, and how to shift from feeling truly understood. I'm so excited you're here. Come and join. Hey guys, it's Lexi here, your Master Certified Life Coach and soon-to-be Integrative Health Practitioner. I am here to help you understand the power of feeling understood and how to stop feeling misunderstood. I'm so excited for today's episode. We have a lot of tools and a lot of great things in the works. I quickly want to give a little bit of update on everything going on with my business called Joy Haven. That's like my coaching business. If you hear it, Joy Haven is if you want to go get one-on-one coached, group coached, participate in a lot of challenges, a lot of really cool detoxes and cleanses and for your mind, body, and soul, go ahead and go click on the links so that you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to be posting a lot of updates. So really exciting things coming. We are going to be having a master class that is going to be coming in the next month. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following that where you can get little snippets of my podcast, little snippets of my life, tips, tricks, and tools that are bonus to these podcasts. All right, let's jump into today's episode of Feeling Misunderstood. All right, I feel like I have so many things that I want to share, and so I want you to bear with me because this is about to be one of our best chats. All right, I want to talk about what does it mean to feel misunderstood? What does that actually look like? All right. I wrote down a few different experiences. All right. This feeling misunderstood looks like this. Okay. You've explained yourself, how you're feeling, and someone responds with, "You're too sensitive. You're making it up. It's not that big of a deal. Get over it." That's going to make you feel misunderstood. All right. Maybe you try to share your needs and boundaries, but you get pushback and guilt trips. For example, family comes in town and you say, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to hang out with you guys till 6 o'clock. Or, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to come to family dinner tonight." And you get guilt tripped. You feel misunderstood. You're like, it's not that I don't love you. It's just I can't come. All right. Maybe it's people respond with advice when you want to be heard. How many times have you talked to people and you literally just want to vent and feel like, yeah, what you're feeling is valid. And instead you get a lecture on things that you should do. That is a very big trigger and makes us feel misunderstood. All right. You're not alone. Maybe you feel like you have to over-explain yourself constantly. Others might say, "I don't get why you think or feel that way." This makes you feel very isolated. When you're going through a hard time and people change the subject or minimize your experience, maybe you feel mentally alone even when you're physically surrounded by people. Maybe your faith and beliefs feel diminished or invalidated by other people, and you feel judged based on things that they say. Maybe you constantly compare your inner experience to others' outer experience. So this might look like feeling very insecure about your job and seeing other people really thriving in their jobs online. So we're comparing the things that we're struggling with internally to someone's external show. And this creates misunderstanding. All right. Why do we feel misunderstanding? Let's break it down. All right. These are the reasons why you're going to feel misunderstood. It's deep. All right. We as human beings, when we feel misunderstood, it's because we have unmet needs and unmet validation. We as human beings crave connection. We crave to feel understood. We crave to feel our needs are met. And so what happens when we feel misunderstood is our brain had a craving for feeling seen. Our brain had a feeling for feeling accepted exactly how we are, in the messy, in the crying, in the just mad and frustrated state. All right. And when others don't meet us where we're at, it triggers a loneliness and a frustration. When people don't act in the way that we're expecting them to, it creates you feel misunderstood. All right, and that's number one. Number two, We often communicate with people our expectations that we have for them instead of communicating what we need from them. For example, we say that we want others to do or understand certain things. Okay, I want you to, can you stop leaving your dishes on the sink? Can you stop saying this thing about me? But we don't always clearly state that. And instead, what will happen is we might be a little frustrated with them when there's a dish left on the counter. And we might be a little bit passive aggressive, or we might ignore them. Or maybe we ask them and they don't do it. All of these situations are creating misunderstanding because we feel misunderstood. We feel like we've communicated. We feel like we've tried our best. We feel like they don't care, right? So we feel misunderstood. Number 3, when you get stuck in your story, right? In our life, we have 2 different things. We have a fact. Facts are, my shirt is yellow. Every single person would agree. It's a fact. We can prove it in court. Okay. Another fact would be, I'm 25. Okay. Everyone knows that. I have a scrunchie on my wrist. Fact. I work at a marketing company. Fact. I love to play pickleball. That's not a fact. Okay. That is just what we call a thought. Okay. That is just something that I believe to be true. Not everyone is going to believe that that's true. All right. So what happens is in our lives, we create stories based on thoughts that we have. Based on things that happen, then we tell ourselves certain things. For example, the common one is, if they really knew me, they wouldn't stick around. Maybe something happens and you get in a fight with your friends and you're like, well, they just don't understand me. And if they understood me, they wouldn't act like that. Or maybe you feel so bad about yourself and you're like, well, if they really knew how hurt and awful and insecure I am, they probably wouldn't want to date me. Right? I'm too much. I'm too complicated. These are all stories that we tell in our head that make us feel miscommunicated, misunderstood. Not miscommunicated, misunderstood. All right? Another reason we feel misunderstood is we have the fear of past wounds. Okay? If you grew up feeling not truly seen or safe to share your feelings, express yourself, this is going to create a lot of feelings of rejection when you share and don't really feel as though it's handled in a way that you're wanting it to. When you share your feelings and you feel like someone diminishes you by saying, you shouldn't be feeling like that, stop crying, settle down, all of those things make you feel misunderstood because you're not able to express the way that you're feeling. All right. And the last one is we mistake differences for rejection. So if you don't agree with someone and they don't agree with you, you might think that they're just misunderstanding you. Like, of course my way is right. Of course the way that I think is correct. But maybe it's not that you're correct or they're rejecting you. It's just that you have different opinions based on your different life experiences, right? So these are the ways that we feel misunderstood. I hope you feel really seen right now, and I hope something has resonated with you. All right, let's talk about a little bit more about this story we tell ourselves. All right, this is crucial. When we feel misunderstood, it's often less about the facts that are happening and more about the story that we're telling ourselves in our mind. All right, I am invisible. Can you prove that in court? No, it's not true. I'm here. You can touch me. It's a fact. I am a human being. Fact. The thought, the story I'm telling myself is I am invisible. And that hurts me. And that makes me feel misunderstood. All right? No one cares about the real me. Is that a fact? No, I cannot prove that. It's just a story that I'm making up in my head, that I'm making real and true for myself, that makes me feel misunderstood. All right? I'm broken or wrong for feeling this way. How many times have you had that thought, right? I'm wrong for feeling like this. I shouldn't feel like this. I shouldn't be having these emotions. I'm wrong for being like this. That is not a fact. That is not 100% true. It's just a story that we tell ourselves that leads to misunderstanding. All right, so these stories trap us in isolation. All right, when we have thoughts of, I have to hide to be accepted. I'm destined to be alone. No one's going to love me. I'm never going to find a boyfriend. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to find some friends who truly understand me. All that's doing is hurting you. All that's doing is creating misunderstanding. Okay? Stories that we tell ourselves are not facts. They're just interpretations, and we can write them however we want to. All right? Let's practice some mindset shifts that are going to help you move from misunderstanding to understanding. All right? These are what I teach my clients as I coach them, and these are principles that a lot of coaches that I admire teach. Number 1, Mel Robbins teaches this. What if we just let them? Now, I want you to imagine that you're in a conversation with someone and they are saying, you're too much. I don't understand you. Like, you're being too emotional. Get over it. It's not that big of a deal. And so then you're going to think to yourself, I'm just misunderstood. Like, why can they not understand me? And you're going to remind yourself, what if I just let them misunderstand me? What if I just let them have their own feelings? What if I just let them misunderstand what I'm saying? What if I just let them not truly get it? And what that does is it takes the power back in our hands. It allows you to own your life and them to own their life. We can't change other people. We can't change the way they think, the way that they act, the way that they show up. What we can really control is us. We can't control if people are going to understand us. What truly is understanding, though, is my question. What does it mean for someone to truly understand us? I mean, to truly feel understood, someone would need to be you, because your experience is your own. The things you think are your own. No one else is going to truly understand you but you. And so we want to own that part, that we understand us and the other people understand them. And so we let them. We let them understand as much as they can understand. And we let us understand as much as we can understand. All right? You can acknowledge that you're feeling a little bit misunderstood, but when this rises up, we're going to say, hey, I'm feeling a little bit misunderstood right now, but I want to understand better. I want you to understand me better. What do you understand about what I've told you? How can we better communicate? Right? It's not making it personal and saying, oh, they just don't understand me. They don't care. I'm unlovable. I'm not enough. I'm crazy. That's not what we do. All right? Number 2 is we want to speak clearly and simply without apologizing. Without apologizing. Do you know how many times I say I'm sorry? This is why. We want to communicate very clear. All right? And when we expect people to stop reading our minds, it helps us feel more understood. For example, let's go back to that example of someone leaving a dish on the counter. Maybe they wash it and they leave it to dry. If you don't communicate with them, hey, it kind of bugs me when we leave out the dishes. Do you think that we could put them in the dishwasher? This is going to help miscommunication. All right? Another way that this could look is saying, I feel lonely when I don't get a response from you, when you don't text me within 2 hours. That is clear communication of what you need so you can help the other person understand, right? There's no misunderstanding. Like, I feel lonely when you do this, okay? I need to feel heard before you give me advice. There's no miscommunication, right? We are telling them, I need this before I need this. All right? Number 3, it helps me when you ask questions instead of jump to a solution. It helps me when you ask questions instead of jumping to a solution. Okay, so when you're going to communicate with people or when you're feeling misunderstood, I want you to try one of these 3 things. Saying, I feel blank when blank. Number 2, I need blank before I need blank. And number 3, it helps me when you blank instead of blank. All right? This is giving clear communication so that you can be able to help each other. All right? The third thing that we can do to kind of increase our communication so that we can feel more understood is choose who you share your inner world with wisely. Not everyone can or will understand, and that's okay. Focus your energy on safe listeners, people who want to understand. Even if they don't get it fully, I want you to think about people in your life, 1 to 2, that you feel you can be a little bit more vulnerable with and you feel safe with. And I want you to remember when you're in those vulnerable moments, those are the people you can go to. And when you're feeling less vulnerable and more insecure, I want you to ask yourself, who are the people who I need right now? Different people have different strengths. I feel as though one of my strengths is I'm pretty good at listening to people and understanding because probably I've experienced it, and so I can understand. I'm not perfect at it, but I really feel as though I'm a good person to come to listen and understand. I have a really big capacity for emotions. Whereas maybe my friends, I have some friends who aren't good at understanding emotion and being sympathetic, right? And so when I'm struggling with emotion, there's certain friends I go to and there's certain friends I don't go to. And being able to realize who those people are is really helpful. All right? This is the last thing I'm going to leave with you. All right? I want you to start noticing when you have the negative loops that come up when you feel misunderstood. All right? So when you start catching yourself thinking, I'm just too much. People just don't understand me. I'm never going to be understood by people. I'm going to be alone forever. No one can love me. I'm unlovable. I want you to catch yourself. I want you to count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And replace that with a kinder thought. Like, I am enough just as I am. I deserve to be understood. All right? Make that mind shift. Okay, in closing, feeling misunderstood doesn't mean you're broken or you're alone. It means you're human. Your experiences are valid. Your desires to be known are sacred. The stories you tell yourself can change, and with clearer communication and self-compassion, you can start to feel truly seen. If you want a quick mindset guide with these, some journal prompts to help you kind of rewrite your story, I want you to send me a DM and let's get started working together. Let me help you feel understood, and let me help you take back control of your life so that you can communicate better, so that you can understand better, so that you can manage your life in a better way to get the support that you need. Because you deserve to feel seen, heard, and valued. And you are here. You are seen, heard, and valued. Love you all.